Lake Catholic takes a 1-0 lead to the hour mark on a Mateo Medancic PK, but is unable to finish the job and get out of a long road trip with a result as Avon records a 2-1 win on Monday night in a non-conference headliner. The weather sucked. There's no way around it for a large portion of this match, so obviously it was difficult to get a true indication of what these sides were all about for a full 80 in the attack. There were glimpses of it, but not for a full 80 just because of the rain, and it can get really difficult to get things going in the attack either way. But I thought overall, this was a pretty positive performance from the Cougars. Ideally, you'd like to get the result, of course, especially when you travel that far for a non-conference match. But I think there were some positives to take out of this match from the Lake Catholic point of view. First of all, the defensive shape for a large portion of this match was very solid. And this is a test in the defensive third, and I think it's something that can really serve Lake well going forward. Avon is a side, and they showed it especially in that opening 40, that likes to build out of the back. They're not shy with switching, with overlaps. That can test a side shape in the defensive third. And I thought Lake held up pretty well for a large portion of this match in that regard. Hanging in there, keeping it 0-0 when Avon was having the better of the attack for a little while, and they were able to get a 1-0 lead there just before the hour mark. Andrew Druzina is able to draw a penalty kick. Mateo served him in, and Andrew got a forearm in the back there, went down in the box on the edge of the 6, and rightfully they awarded the PK, and Lake was able to take a 1-0 lead there. I've been very pleased with Mateo's development as a senior. It's evident how much more of a complete player he is as a senior as opposed to maybe where he was as a freshman and sophomore, taking on more of that Avon Babbage role in the side as a playmaker in the middle of the park, setting up his teammates, setting up opportunities for himself, making smart runs off the ball, delivering smart service. He's more of a complete player this year, and it's been a pleasure to watch that play out. Finally, able to see it firsthand here as a senior here in 2018 myself, but it's nice to see that. Taking on that role after Avon graduated as kind of that program staple. Obviously, he had that brace and the 2-0 win over University, so his growth is evident. It's nice to see, and that's definitely a building block for Lake going forward. As far as Avon, like I said, a side that built out of the back and with switches and overlaps in that opening 40 as the rain came down, as the conditions got a little bit better in that second 40, you could see the pace that the Eagles can throw it aside in the attack. I like the way that they operate. It's a different look tactically, but it's something that works very well. They improved to 6-1 here on the year. A nice bounce back after allowing that PK to get back in the match. The equalizer was a well-taken strike from distance by Keegan Dawson to make it a 1-1 match, and then late, I love the build-up there, utilizing diagonal play with a couple touches to open up that right flank. Cross comes in near post. Nice finish by Nicholas Soulis to make it a 2-1 match, and that ends up being the final margin. It's been quite a few years since we've seen Lake and Avon in a non-conference match, and I don't get to see Avon that often on my side of town, but you can tell they're a very good side with pace. They perform well tactically. They keep a nice shape themselves, and they're going to be a tough side on the west side there. You can obviously tell that here in September and going into October as the postseason gets going here next month. But from the News-Herald coverage area point of view with Lake Catholic, 1, 2, and 3 now for them. And again, you've seen the moments. They were able to get that head-to-head win over University. They've had ties. I was a little cautious at the beginning of the year because I wanted to see how they reloaded after graduating such an important player in Avon. And I think I was right in being cautious early, but after getting that win over US, I think it's a little safer to be more confident in Lake now, and I was pleased with the workmanlike performance they put in here at Avon. Ideally, you want the result, but the performance was there, and obviously they got to jump right back in with a match on Tuesday. But I thought it was a pretty solid performance, all things considered, as Lake Catholic falls 2-1 to Avon on Monday night.